Hey YouTube. Yesterday I did a video where I kind of just like talking shit about starting playing the guitar, and someone suggested that I try doing sort of lessons videos. Maybe I'll get lots of subscribers. Don't know. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to play some stuff the way I learned. And first song I learned was Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and if you don't know or if you don't like that song, then I don't know why not really. Um, it's pretty easy, and I think even if you've only had the guitar for today, you should be able to slog your way through pretty much the song. This is an expensive Gibson SG, which is bought with humbucker pickups, which are, if you look at my last video, I'll tell you what they are. Using the bridge pickup. So yeah, so that's me using all your Ableton push and compressors and editing and all that stuff. It's not. My whole point of doing these videos was when I started doing videos was not to use hundreds of expensive stuff and time to make things. Basically there's a mic sitting there, and what you're getting is what's coming out my amp. And to prove the point that you don't really need an expensive guitar, I'm going to use this cheap Telecaster instead. This is a Chendar, which I got for a frankly ridiculous amount of money in China. Just say it's a sort of squirey type level sort of thing. So Paranoid, the first, I'm going to do a few videos of this. I'm going to probably do them all in a one, but I'll just stop the thing after them, so they'll only be a couple of minutes long. So not the right guitar for playing Black Sabbath, but all guitars you can do anything on, so I'm doing it for that reason. So Paranoid, it uses things called power chords. I'll go for a wee bit of a history lesson. Tony Iommi, before he I think it was the day before he turned into a professional musician, was working in a steel mill and got the tips of his middle two fingers cut off. Like this. He was left-handed, so it was the other way around. But like this, so he couldn't really hold the strings down with his middle two fingers because there was no skin on the tips of them. He kind of melted bits of plastic on to make fingertips so you could hardly touch them. Therefore, he invented the power chord. That's not exactly true, but it's basically, so a power chord is just two notes. And if you imagine not having those two fingers, you play it like that. But I'm not going to do that because I've got all the fingers. So a power chord is basically the note here, plus this one. And you play them together. Yeah. So you only really, the trick about learning to play this is more to do with the right hand than it is the left hand. You've got to try and hit. I would suggest to start with just only hitting down the way with your pick. Hold the pick, see the way I've got it there, and it's kind of sitting at 90 degrees to my thumb, pointing this way. You ought to be doing that. And what the strings you're holding down, you can look up the tab for this. I don't like using tab because I find that, see if you've got tab written in front of you, I can play what's on the page, and then as soon as you take the page away, I can't remember it. Whereas if I just work it out myself, I remember it forever, which is something like what happened with Paranoid. So the first chord we're going to play is it's an E, but it's an E5. The 5 means it's just the root, and the fifth, which just means it's a power chord. So it's only two notes, so it's easy. And if you're playing it proper Tony Iommi Black Sabbath style, so you're talking about first finger goes on the 12th fret on the E string, and then the next finger goes on the 14th fret, 12, 13, 14th fret on the next string. And that's your E5 power chord. I shall now referring this on to as from now on as E. Right, you recognise that as the start the intro riff bit, which I'm not going to do until after I've done the rest of the song, so that you don't spend ages doing the intro and then have to learn the song. So easy stuff, right? So if you look at the way I'm hitting down and only hitting the two strings, so I'm not. Obviously, I can do that because I practice tons. But you want to sort of do it like that, and then the thing called string muting, where you kind of put your palm, your finger, so the string starts vibrating here. This is quite noisy because it's not a Telecaster, you can hear the buzzing. So you want to kind of have, if you have your kind of hand, if you totally hold your hand on it, it mutes it, the strings don't ring. So you just got to gradually learn to decide how much of your hand you're going to have sitting on the string. It doesn't sound bad without it, but you've got to get it proper. And then all your metallic and all that came after that. Use that a lot. Right, so first chord is E. The next chord is a D, which is exactly the same, but you slide everything down 2. So you're now on the 10th and the 12th fret. Yep. And then, so basically most of the song is right. So you'll notice the wee bit da da da. It's got another chord in it. So that's a G bar chord. So that's the same as the D, apart from you're moving it up to the next 2 strings. So you're on the A on the 10th and the D string on the 12th. And this is a wee bit harder because you don't want to hit that. You don't want to hit the open E, so you've got to miss it and hit the next 2. It doesn't matter so much if you're muting it. You can sort of get away with it. So that's quite fast actually. So what you're doing there is you're going. So it's like your G, D, E. And if you recognise that from the song, it's basically nearly all the song is. Actually, I've just noticed that I'm even cheating even further than that. Rather than moving my whole hand to there, I'm just leaving this finger holding down the 2 of them. But that might be because I can play the guitar and played it for years, so I'm used to just holding down more than one string. So all I'm doing is. You could. So I would actually just leave that finger and try and hold down 2 strings with it if it's not too difficult. So that most of the song, there's a wee cheesy bit if you want to stick it in. I don't think he does it every time in the song, which is basically you hold down on the 12th fret the 3 string, the 3 thin strings and go. So you get. I overextended it there, if you know what I mean, just to show it. So that's basically Paranoid. There's a couple of extra bits I'll show you which are just the same song, but if you know the song, you should be able to literally get through the whole thing in once you've nailed that first bit. So it's just a verse is just. Actually, I notice I'm not actually pan muting it at all now. If I do, it sounds like that. If I don't, it sounds like that. I'm due. Right, so basically, that is Paranoid, and if you learn that song, you can pretty much play that along with anyone. I'll show you the intro bit now. I didn't want you to show you the intro bit first, because so once you can do if you learn that bit first, then you can do the intro bit. You can then launch into that bit, and you can do nearly the whole song. So the intro is starting on the E. You'll notice that I'm holding down an awful lot more strings, but I'm only hitting 2. I'm just used to doing that. It's just because I'm used to playing the guitar that much. So this has got a thing called a hammer on, which is instead of playing, you go. So you hit the open. I've got my finger here is holding down the first 3 strings on the E string on the 12th fret, and I'm hammering on up to the power chord note you're already playing, and then up to the D string. So I'm hammering up 2 frets up to the 14th on the A string and then the D string. So that's like 3 hits. And then so it's, as I said, a hammer on is like when you don't actually pick the note you're ticking. I could go, that's me hitting every note, but this way I'm hitting it once and then hitting it hard with my finger so it sounds on its own. once you start getting further than that, you start getting your Van Halen where you can do all this stuff, you know, when you're hitting on with other fingers and stuff. But that's quite a simple one. It's a useful thing for it. Basically, that's your starting point for lead guitar. I will be doing a video later on. I'm going to do the solo for this as well, so that'll be a sort of more of an intermediate level. I'm going to do the bass next. I think I'm going to do 4 videos. I'll keep the last one a secret, but yeah. So there's your whole song. There is another couple of bits to get to totally nail the whole song, but they're just as easy, and there's chords you've already just learnt. So you get the bit where it goes. Can you help me? Got you for my brain. Oh yeah. So I don't even think that really counts as having to learn that, because that's basically just your E chords and your D chords, apart from you just hit it. For my brain. Oh yeah. And back into it again. And there's another bit which is a similar sort of thing when it goes I think the Can You Help Me bit's maybe a wee bit later on in the song. But first off, there's a bit so after some singing, there's a bit where it goes. And that does have another chord in it, but it's basically what you're doing is you're starting with the E chord you're starting with, and then you're going down to, this is a new one. That's actually a C power chord, so it's exactly the same as the E, but instead of playing it starting on the 12th and the 14th, you're doing it on the 8th and the 10th, and then you're sliding up to your D chord, which is the 10th and the 12th, and then back to. So that's basically how you play Paranoid, and you can write these things down. But I think, because I've told you, if you just start listening to that, play this once and then maybe go back, if you get stuck a bit, you're kind of there. So I'll play it now, but I'll put all those bits in, but I'll be missing out lots of verses and stuff, and I'll miss out the solo. The solo just goes over one of the verses. So from the start. The other bit. Oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. So that's the whole song. I'm going to use my loop pedal just now before I do video 2, which is going to be the bass. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in that verse into the loop pedal, and you'll see what I'm doing here. Right, that's what my loop pedal does. So I've just recorded that in, and that'll keep playing indefinitely, and I'll use that in the bass video, which I'll do in 2 minutes time. Yeah. I'll stop it while I'm talking. So if you're mad that I remember seeing an interview with Geezer Butler, and he was talking about how he was so proud that Black Sabbath had become the Johnny B. Good of his generation, because every time he was in a band, you know, any kid's band starting up, you would play Johnny B. Good. It's nice and easy, it's quite rocking, and everyone likes it, and Paranoid is now one of those songs. It's good. I think it's maybe a wee bit hard to play in the drums, but it's nice, and it's rocking, and it's fast, and it's not, you can see there, it's not super hard, and you're really, the technique is more to it. I mean, I'm making it sound easy, and you basically just an amp with distortion. I kind of didn't want to be using, I've got a wee line 6 amp I should have brought through, but I couldn't be bothered carrying it. I'm using like an expensive amp, or a Laney, and I've got it coming through this big mad speaker cabinet, but that's just because it's there. You can, as long as if you get your distortion cranked up, and use the bridge pickup. As I say, I'm using a Telecaster, which is not what you would expect from a Black Sabbath guitar, but you can totally still learn it, and it still does it. So see you in video 2.